You don't need a large palette to paint a realistic subject. Today I'm using just three primary colors to paint these tomatoes. In this video, you will learn about primary colors, secondary colors, and color temperature, and how they can influence your paintings. I start by swatching the three primary colors I'm using for this first tomato, that is Crimson Lake, Lemon Yellow, and Ultramarine Blue. When these colors mix, they create the secondary colors. Red and yellow create orange, yellow and blue creates green, and red and blue creates violet. You may have noticed that watercolor sets often contain many different reds, yellows, and blues. That's because not all pigments are the same. Some are warmer, while some other pigments are cooler. We will discuss more about warm colors and cool colors in the next video. For now, for the first tomato, I begin by applying lemon yellow in a simple oval shape. After applying the pigment, I leave some pigment on the right side to preserve the highlight, since I'm assuming the light source is coming from that direction. While the yellow is still wet, I drop in Crimson Lake and allow the colors to blend naturally on the paper. As the Crimson Lake mixes with the lemon yellow, it creates beautiful orange tones. First, I'm applying the mid-tones for the tomato while leaving some of the lemon yellow visible. Next, I add a darker value of Crimson Lake on the left side of the tomato and also on the middle and on the right side and on the top, as you see in the video. I'm using a darker value of Crimson Lake around the indentation area where the stem would have been attached. It didn't spread as much as I expected, so I will blend it later in a moment. Next, I use ultramarine blue to develop the shadow areas on the left side of the tomato. I'm also adding a touch of ultramarine to the center of the indentation since that area receives less light. Now you can see I'm blending that dark value with the surrounding area so there is smooth transition at the top of the tomato. Now I'm using a light value of ultramarine to paint the cast shadow. Then I add a darker value of ultramarine blue directly beneath the tomato where it touches the surface. And finally, I use a clean damp brush to lift some pigment near the highlight area, and that's it. Our first tomato is done. For the second tomato, I'm swatching the pigments once again. I'm using the same ultramarine blue and lemon yellow, but this time I'm using vermilion hue, which is a warm red. You might wonder why I am painting the same tomato twice using different reds. The first tomato uses a cooler red, and now I'm going to paint the second tomato using a warmer red, which is vermilion hue. Both belong to the same red family, but they behave differently because of their color temperature. You will clearly see the difference in the final result when both paintings are compared side by side. Now I'm cutting the masking tape into thin pointed strips to mask the green top of the tomato. I simply wanted to add a little extra interest to this tomato, so I decided to include that top green star-like shape at the top of the tomato. If you have masking fluid, you can use that instead. After cutting the strips, I place them on the paper to mask the star shape. Now I begin painting the second tomato. I apply lemon yellow in an oval shape. Next, I'm using vermilion hue over that wet lemon yellow to create a beautiful orange tone. I'm leaving the right side of the tomato untouched for the highlight area. Next, I use a darker value of vermilion hue on the left side and around the tomato and also at the middle of the tomato. You can see there are some mid values remain untouched. This variation in values helps to create a three-dimensional form for the tomato. Next, I use ultramarine blue to paint the shadow areas on the left side of the tomato. After painting the shadow areas, next I use a clean damp brush to lift some pigment on the right side of the tomato for the highlight. Next, I use a lighter value of ultramarine blue to paint the cast shadow beneath the tomato. Next, I use a darker value of ultramarine beneath the tomato to show that the tomato is grounded on a surface. After that, I allow the paper to dry completely. Once the paper is completely dry, I remove the masking tape to reveal the clean white space. Next, I use a mix of lemon yellow and ultramarine blue to paint the star-shaped green top of the tomato. I start with lighter green, then I add a darker value of ultramarine to create the shadow. Although both tomatoes were painted using the same primary colors, the final result looks different because of the red pigment we chose. From this, you can understand that color temperature plays an important role in a painting. So, we will explore more about it in our upcoming Watercolor Basics series. Before I finish, I would like to mention the journal I'm using for this painting. I enjoyed working in this format because it encouraged me to focus on color mixing and simple studies without overcomplicating the process. A journal gives you the freedom to try things, make mistakes, and learn from them without worrying too much about the outcome. Looking back through your pages is also a great way to see how much your painting has improved over time. If you are interested in trying this journal for your own watercolor practice, I have included the affiliate link in the description. You will receive a 10% discount if you purchase through that link, and I will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. See you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye from Prema.